Okay, I am not going to go with the style piston that they have in the plans. I've come up with my own. Oops, doing it my way again. Instead of, they're calling out of inch and 250, I'm going to go inch 125 long. And I'm going to put the wrist pin at, from the back side, from the skirt side, 545. It'll still give me the same distance that they have in the plans from the center line of the pin to the top of the piston. The piston diameter will still be 750. I will not go with set screws, two set screws. I'm going to put Teflon plugs in on both sides instead. What did I figure this 7/8 out for? Oh, the bottom of the from the skirt. This would be from the skirt, not from the. It'd be from the skirt, all the way from the bottom of the skirt. 750. The pocket here is going to be 750. That's enough to clear the 3/8 that's going to be in there, because right now it's 545 to the center line of the pin, so it's a 3/8 diameter. Let me measure that real quick. Oh, I have them on the motors. I have them on the motors here, so. So this diameter, the wrist pin diameter is the diameter that I'm looking for, which is, I thought it was 3/8 for some reason. Yep, 3/8. So that means this pocket depth need not be any deeper than 750 deep. The width of the pocket is going to be 5/16 wide, which will give me a little bit of clearance. The ring depth, I'm going to go a 1/16 wide and about 36 thousandths in thickness, wall thickness of the ring. So that'll give me about a 70 ID. So that'll give me 610 plus nothing. I figured I'd hold it to minus 2 thou. Plus nothing minus 2 thou on the ring depths. That'll give me 8 thousandths of compression of the ring can compress into that slot. Like I said, the piston is going to be aluminum too. It's not going to be cast iron. It's going to be an aluminum piston with cast iron rings. So I'm going to go and get going on this and see what I can come up with. I don't like I say, I don't like, well, I'm not going to put a cast iron piston in it. I don't like cast iron riding on the steel wall in there, extra weight slinging around, and I just don't like it, so that's what we're going to have. We're going to have an aluminum piston. So, but anyway, this is kind of the numbers that I came up with. This is an old drawing that I made once before in one of my motors, and it worked. But back then I went and made 2 set screws to hold the wrist pin in, and I have recently gone to Teflon plugs, and it's less work. Just push a Teflon plug in on each side. If they move, they'll come out and ride the cylinder wall. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Isn't going to hurt nothing. So anyway, I gotta find some material. I had some 750 in there, but unfortunately it didn't run true enough, so I want to hit about 1.5 to 2 thou undersize. This piston that I made before did run in steel liner, so I know that even getting warm, it seemed to work just fine. So enough jabbering. I'm going to go and see. I did put them on the journals. They are a little. There's a little bit of snugness in them, but it's not bad. Once run it one time or a little bit, and it'll be just fine. They'll be just fine. So I did not cut the caps down. I was going to do that, and I still am. I'm just going to cut these caps down because they're just not proportional. So I'm going to measure this on the rod and hold the same thing on the cap, so the cap will look quite different. Well, it'll get milled down to the tendency of the land for the spacer in there. So that's just something that'll quick do. But for now, I'm going to go get some aluminum and start turning up a piston, and we'll see what we can come up with. Catch you later. Okay, we're on lathe. I turned the OD down here, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plunge in with a 1/2 inch end mill here for the skirt. So I want to get a good 2-flute end cutting end mill. Okay, I think this one is quite a bit under. Let's see. This one is, yeah, this one's 450. I want to get closer. It all regrinds. All right, here's a resharpened 9/16. Yep, it's been resharpened because it's, well, yeah, it's been resharpened, but that's okay. That's what this will be close enough. I'm gonna take it, put a boring bar in there and open it up to a 5/8 diameter. So I'm gonna put this in the drill chuck. And I want to go about 350 deep. So I'm going to get up here and touch, zero my dial, and I want to go about 3.5 turns in. Make sure I'm locked. There's 100. There's 200. There's 300. We'll go about to the 50. She's starting to weld up on me. It's getting a little hot. All right. That should have been 350. If it didn't slip on me. So I'm just going to quick measure it. Yep, 350 right on the mark. Good deal. So we'll keep that end mill out because I got two of them to do, two pistons to do. So I don't know if I want to bore it up any more than that. I think I'm just going to go with it that right there. I think that'll be enough room for the piston. It's just room for the rock or for the rod to move. If it's not enough room, I can always clamp it up and give myself some more room. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to put a nice chamfer on that. I need to set up a chamfer tool if I don't have one. Set up. Get a chamfer tool. Chamfered. I've got about 6 or 7 of them. Well, you want to use this. It's actually a Acme thread, I believe. Acme threading tool. And we're going to take and set that in because it doesn't need to be I don't really want a 45. I'd rather have, I've got it at 30, so could use a threading tool, but I think I'm going to like the looks of this one right here. Let's see what it looks like. So that's the only reason I'm just not happy with it the way it looks. I think I'm going to have to put that tool above center a ways. That's a healthy 45. That's okay. That'll work. What else do I got to do now? So I got to put my ring grooves in and then part it off. And my ring grooves are going to be 62 wide, so I need to get I'm going to use a part off blade. This is 90. I know I got a 50 here. There it is. We got 2 part off blades set up. And this one's a 50. So I can go in with this 50 and then move it. Just move it 10 thou and go back in. And I want to make it as short as possible. I don't want it so long that it's flexing all over the place. Short. Because I'm not going to part off with this, I'm going to part off with the other one. I'm going to move that in so it's just sticking out a little ways. Reason is because when I go back in that 10 thou, I don't want it flexing. I could go quick grind up a little short tool. There we go. I have to check the height of that. I'm sure she's going to be way below now. Where's my scale? Okay. So bring it in touch. Yeah. Wife's leaving. that looks pretty good right there. All right. So, first ring groove. 1/16 from. I did that kind of backwards when I dimensioned that. I dimensioned that kind of backwards. I should have dimensioned it differently. See that? You know, you dimension stuff, and then you see that when you go out and shop and you make it yourself, then you go, oh, wait a minute, why did I dimension it from that side? Why didn't I dimension everything from over here? And I ended up turning it around and dimensioning it from over here. Well, it makes it a little harder for the people in the shop because they got to sit and calculate then, and that's not a good practice. So, and I'm going to go to that edge. So that would be, oh, that would be an 1/8 inch. Would be an 1/8 inch over, because I'm going to touch off, and then I'm going to go to this side of the slot, which would be 1/16 and 1/16, which would be an 1/8 inch. Makes sense to me anyway. So I'll touch off. Set my travel dial to 0, and then move in 1 inch. Right there. And for the depth of that, I'm going to go 70 on the depth, so 140 on the diameter. Touch. 0 my dial. And I want to go 140. There's 100. And 40. Back out. Move over my 10. And then go back in. Slowly go back in. Okay, so that ring groove is done. I'm going to back up my 10 so I know, keep track where I'm at. And now we want to go over. So we're going to leave a 1/16 of an inch in between. So let me 62 thou in between. So we'll go R50. And then from that should put us right on the. Yep. And then we want to go 62. 50, 62. And that should put that edge, and then we'll go 10 that way. So right there, lock that. Go in the 140. Touch. Yep, we're at 0 yet. There's 100. 20. 30. 140. Back out. Move my pen this way now. This time. So 1, 2. Go back in 140. Tank out. All right, we're ready to part this one off. So, what did I do with that? Oh, put it up there. And you don't want to really chamfer those. You want to make sure that they kind of stay a straight edge. And it really didn't raise up much of a burr at all. I don't think they raised a burr at all. Alright, so this part off tool is 90, I think. 92. Actually, it's 100. No, it's 92. 92. So go in here and touch. Zero my dial. Back out. Now we want to go 92 first. I'm going to go heavy on that because I'm going to face off the other side, I think. Or face off the top of the piston. So we're at 0. So now this edge should be on the edge face of the, and we want to go 1 inch 125. There's 1 inch 125, and I'm going to go an extra 5 there. Something doesn't look quite right. Did I miscalculate somewhere? Because that looks way too much on the top. Well, let's part her off and see what we got. Hope I'm not splattering on the camera. I think I'm 100th off. That doesn't look right. This ring groove should be up here closer. Oop. That's okay. We'll start over. That's 1 inch 140. And this is 125. And it should be well, let's face this off once. 25. So I'm going to be taking 10, be taking 20 off of it. I'm just trying to see if I can live with it. 20. I think I can live with it. I think it'll be all right. Because that means the piston wrist pin will be, I think it'll be all right. I think I'll use it yet. So I'm just going to face this off 40 thou, and I'm just going to make it a little shorter, which will mean that the skirt will be a little shorter. So because I'm just going to move these up, and by doing so I'll be facing this off, which will mean that the whole piston will move up that way, so this will be shorter. It'll be shorter by about 20 thou. It'll be all right. So I don't know where I made my mistake though, but I did make a mistake, because it should have been 1 inch 125 minus the 62. Where's my scratch paper I used? Yeah, that's. Did I not go to that? I thought I did. I thought I went 1 inch 62. Because that's what it is. 1 inch 62. That would have took me to this 0. 1 inch 62 would have took me to that edge. Oh. If I wanted to go to this edge, it was 125, not 62. Well, I'll have to sit down and figure out what I did. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this bar stock out, go ahead and face this one off, and maybe go over and do the pocket right away for the rod and the hole before I do the other one. And we'll see what we come up with. So I'll be back.